you have a project idea, but you say some random stuff. Gen AI understands it and then says, hey, this is the title, this is the description, and this is the technology to be used. And yes, this is a timeline that you should probably be expecting, and maybe the cost as well. So let's take one more hypothetical example where we are talking about business which is into mobile repairs. Now you have a mobile repair shop, or you have multiple centers or multiple shops which are into the mobile repair business. These people send delivery people or pick up these mobile phones, and then you will have to tell them what is wrong with your mobile, right? I mean, you're giving for service, but you're like, okay, screen is not working, or this is happening, or it's heating up, or the charger is not working, the earphone is not working, or the Wi-Fi is not right. So there are many things that can go on. Now, if you want to build a chatbot into it, yes, you can build, but sometimes you only look at very high level. You will not be able to get into the depth of what the user's problem is. So most of the times when you get into a chatbot, you are kind of stuck saying that, okay, what is the issue you are facing? Okay, I'm having issue on this particular thing where the screen is not going beyond, but I want to explain that, but that's not happening. The chatbot says, okay, screen issue, done, right? And then your mobile is picked up, they take it, the service guy takes a technician, and then he says everything is fine, I don't see a problem. Then he gives you a call back and says, hey, I see that you have put a screen issue, but I don't have a problem. But then you say, no, you do this, then you do this, then this is a reproduction step, and then you can see the issue. Now there's a whole story that you are telling. Now imagine a Gen AI coming into picture, where you explain the problem to Gen AI. It then categorizes and does all that is required to do in your system. Maybe your CRM tries to classify, your Gen AI tries to classify this problem into a screen issue, and then gives a detailed step-on-step procedure on how this ticket of this service needs to be handled, right? So when you see these kind of problems, maybe this can be used for anything, like booking of service, booking of issues, maybe car repair, because the guy who collects it is a different guy, the guy who works on it is a different guy, and then guy who delivers may be a different guy, and then your whole experience is spoiled in between explaining the same problem to each of them again and again.
Correct.
Right? So if this kind of solutions can be brought in using Gen AI, and a fine-tuned model for each of these use cases can be made. And today we have integrations to WhatsApp and other chat interfaces on your website. Maybe you can build a mobile app which is much more intelligent now to understand and give the details. So these are some of the areas where businesses can use to define a problem. One other use case I can talk about is, let's say we have a marketplace. Right? Today we have Fiverr, or maybe have Upwork and things like that. And how you can use Gen AI to generate a problem statement. I have something in my mind, but I'm not able to articulate it better. So use Gen AI. And if you have a plugin which says, on these websites where you have a project idea, but you say some random stuff, Gen AI understands it and then says, hey, this is the title, this is the description, and this is the technology to be used. And yes, this is a timeline that you should probably be expecting, and maybe the cost as well.
Benefit today with the whole ecosystem that we have with Gen AI is that, to make it reach a certain level of performance, you don't need a lot of data, right? And the chatbots, the yesteryear chatbots, right? I mean, I remember because I've worked on a lot of them. You need to really get, like, for some of the chatbots that I had implemented, I needed 1,000 examples, 10,000 examples, 15,000 examples, and these were just on one intent. So it would work really well on one thing, but it wouldn't generally work on other things, right? So
the whole permutation combination will be too many examples. You can't cover everything.
Like I would say that that was trying to teach a 2-year-old how to talk, and this is maybe trying to teach an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old. It's kind of, that's the difference there is, right? So because you need a lot less data, so a lot of like, for example, computer repair or any repair service, they are not traditionally the type of businesses who store a lot of data, right? They are more worried about finding out the problem and operational improvement, right? And maybe data driven insight is not something that either occurred to them or something that was required, right, based on the volume. But today you don't need to take the last 10,000 repairs to understand, right? You may need to take 2 or 3 from each repair type. And just doing that can, train or teach a GenAI agent how to talk to the customer, right? Because this is trained on pre-existing data. So it's a pre-trained transformer, which is what, a generative pre-trained, which is what GPT is, right? And it basically knows how to talk. You just have to give it the right information to point it in the right way, right? So now I think there's a wider range of businesses that can actually use it. Before, if you go and if you tell a smaller company that maybe does not do, millions or crores in revenue, that okay, we'll put an AI model, data science, this, that, they may say that okay, right now I have few people doing it and they're doing it fine. Then I you can't basically show them value without going through a whole system where okay, you figure out the data pipeline, then you train a model, then you integrate. Like the whole process is so long, right? But today that's cut short by a lot, because A, your GenAI model needs a lot less data to do well. B, with all of the integrations available today, they can do it in weeks, maybe sometimes even days.
So I remembered one more example when you specifically mentioned about this service, ticket creation, right? So we have an internal tool where we are using Power Apps, where we are using this, it's called the IT support portal, right? So the tech support portal, where a lot of people sometimes, our employees, they raise a lot of requests, and usually the ratio of somebody who's in the tech support team to somebody responding to the developers is very vast difference. So you may not be able to address each and every query immediately, right? So what we thought is like, okay, we had this preview of OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, right, which is the Microsoft partnered stuff. And we built a fine-tuned model where we had prompted in saying that, okay, now you are going to handle the first initial response of whatever people are asking. So you can be a chat agent, and then if somebody says that, hey, I have this particular issue, my laptop is not restarting, or my laptop is heating, and then it gives you 5 immediate steps that you can do before the person responsible on the IT support comes to you. So the 5 immediate things that you can do, what the agent looks into. And then if it is not, what it will do is on your behalf, it will understand what is the problem and then create a ticket automatically.
Yeah.
So it is a use of Power Automate and Power Apps and things like that. So, but it shortens the thing, because you already explained the problem to this chatbot, and then it suggests you 5 steps or 5 possible solutions. And then you said, no, that's not working, this is a problem. Then you don't have to go back again and create a ticket in the portal. You just said, okay, can I create a ticket on this problem? You say yes. It does that for you. So it saves time, and a lot of times to and fro communication is avoided. So imagine the productivity that we can get in.